Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to show you why the player count is let's just say dying. We're sitting at around 2,000 players right now when it used to be closer to 14,000. Now keep in mind that most of these bugs were introduced in the most recent update, but a few of them are way older than this. And after talking to Agamatsu himself, who is now a proper DEEPWOKEN developer and even mentioned in the credits for DEEPWOKEN as the new layer 2 bell guy, he said that these will get fixed eventually. But honestly, it's still kind of hilarious to see just how many bugs we ended up with from an update that only gave us like, what, 5 new talents. Also, big shoutouts to Rin, who provided clips for every single thing in this list. So yeah, sit back, enjoy, and let's look at some of the ways DEEPWOKEN is currently falling apart. First up on the list, we've got a bug I actually talked about in my previous video and almost wiped because of it, the missing player list. If you've been around since this release, you've probably run into it. Basically, if you press tab to open your inventory and then press tab again, the player list just disappears, and unless you know the tricks, it's gone for good. The only ways to bring it back are to either toggle cinematic mode on and off or to double tap F11. It's a weird bug, but honestly it can be deadly, especially in the depths where not being able to see who's after you is pretty much a death sentence. Second on the list, infinite climbing. Yeah, I know I've talked about this bug more than enough already, but the devs are really pushing everyone's patience with this one. Instead of fixing it, they tried a workaround. Now, the climbing cooldown is based on a timer instead of resetting whenever you touch the ground. And what does that mean exactly? Well, to put it simply, your average Joe can't infinite climb anymore, but the Trackstar build still can. Before, since literally everyone could abuse it, it was at least balanced in a way. But now, locking it to only a certain builds, that's just insane, and I genuinely hope they fix it ASAP. Also, if you want to see more videos like this in the future, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe. It really helps out a lot and it lets me keep making these kinds of breakdowns. Next up, we've got a bug that pretty much kills progression if you don't know about it. You cannot uncap any attunement, whether it be Frost, Flame, Thunder, Blood Run, anything, by beating Chaser right now. Yesterday, while I was progging a build, I noticed that even after beating Chaser 3 or even 4 times, my Frost Draw didn't uncap at all. The only thing that progressed was my weapon. At first, I thought my entire prog was just over right there on the spot, but no, turns out this only applies to Chaser specifically. So yeah, thank you Spaghetti Code, because if you fight Duke instead, your progression works just fine. Next up, we've got something that honestly just feels lazy. They completely, and I'm not joking, they completely removed parry animations from the game. You know how before this update, auto parry moves would sometimes hide certain attack animations? Well, instead of actually fixing that, the devs basically said, oh, the auto parry animations are buggy. What parry animations? So yeah, they just removed them entirely. Now, instead of a proper parry animation, we're stuck with a simple block animation. Rest in peace, parry animations, and welcome back, perfect blocking animations. Next up, the bug that actually started this whole list. One of the most beloved additions to the game, the boss bars, are just gone. Like, seriously, how do you even manage to break boss bars by adding 5 new talents in an update? I genuinely don't get it. And this isn't just some harmless visual bug either. For enmity parties, for example, it's terrible because you can't even tell if you're winning or losing the fight. And for speedrunners, yeah, this completely ruins their runs. Funny bug, sure, but this one's gotta get fixed quickly. Now, this one's already been patched, but at the time, it almost made me quit the game, and I'm not even joking. While I was progging a build for my next depth saving video, I managed to get stuck in Trial of 1. Yup, the blue arrows that are supposed to let me increase my attributes just didn't appear at all. The campfire was frozen in place too, so I couldn't do anything. Absolute cinema in my opinion. But luckily, this one didn't last long. The devs patched it pretty quickly, so W's to them for that. But man, when it happened, it was brutal. Next up, another very beloved addition that's just gone again. The training dummies and guild bases straight up got stolen, and apparently we're not getting them back anytime soon. Even a lot of PvE players have asked me about this, because without those dummies, you really can't test anything on your build at all. It's such a small thing, but it makes a huge difference. Now, this one is actually personal. For some unknown reason, and keep in mind it's been like this since release, the guild exiling system barely works. For example, if you try to exile someone someone, you literally have to type their full name letter by letter. But hear me out, if their name is too long, it gets obscured by their guild rank in the menu. So good luck typing it out correctly. And to make it even worse, some players just cannot be exiled at all. They're basically squatters, free to sit in my guild forever because the system straight up does not want to work. Slopes. Yeah, that's it. Slopes, just slopes. Honestly, these are single-handedly the buggiest thing in the entire game, ever since the so-called slope update that was supposed to fix them. It doesn't matter where you are, slopes in the depth, slopes in the overworld, slopes in layer 2, long slopes, short slopes, any slopes, they're all buggy, they're all the same. And you'll see it in the clip I'm showing right now. Sometimes you just can't climb, can't jump, nothing. You just run face first into the slope and stay stuck in there. If this is what they had in mind for the slope update, then honestly, I'd rather go back to the old slopes that you could at least climb even if they were barely angled. Next up, we've got even campfires, and yeah, even these have some interesting bugs tied to them. If you ever place one down and try to jump on it, you'll notice something strange. You simply can't. Instead, you get stuck in a permanent falling animation. You don't take extra fall damage or anything like that, but it's still quite funny to watch, just sitting there falling forever on a campfire. Now, this next one, the devs just straight up lied to us. In the latest patch notes, they said the Aegis Deep Gem is bankable, but guess what? It's not. And that's why it's showing up in this video as well. This is honestly the worst type of bug because it doesn't just feel like an accident. It feels like we were promised something and it's simply not true. It doesn't happen like they told us it was supposed to. I really hope stuff like this doesn't happen again, even if it's a smaller issue, because being told something is fixed when it isn't is honestly worse than just not fixing it in the first place. And here's one that's been around forever. Mobs randomly gaining the ability to parry the player's moves. This one mainly applies to enmity. No matter what mantra you throw, enmity will just casually slap it out of the air with a parry, even when it absolutely shouldn't be able to. But it's not just enmity either. Mobs like Broodlords have the same exact problem, and it's honestly ridiculous that after countless updates, this is still a thing. They've said multiple times that it was gone, but in reality, it's still very much an issue, and it makes fighting some mobs way more frustrating than it should be. Another short one, but really impactful. Friends are no longer visible in the server list. Before this update, you could see every friend online and just hop into their server. Well, now that entire feature is simply just gone. And it doesn't stop there because the previous server button is gone as well. So if you die and want to go and get revenge, yeah, good luck with that, buddy. I hope you have your medal open because DEEPWOKEN doesn't remember that for you anymore. And finally, the last one on the list. Mantra modifiers just straight up voiding themselves. If you put multiple sparks and modifiers on your mantras, sometimes they'll just delete themselves completely. And if you try to click the return ingredients button, guess what? The button lies to you. Instead of giving your stuff back, it just splits an atom in two and deletes the ingredients from existence. Gone forever. This one is simply just really annoying and is definitely one of the worst bugs still hanging around. Oh, and the last one, this is for the speedrunners out there. Gay lunge into Glacial Arc works everywhere, except for layer 2. Okay, that's all for today's video. Hopefully you had as much fun watching these bugs as I did suffering through them. Again, big credits to Rin for compiling all of these clips. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps a lot. And hey, maybe one day DEEPWOKEN won't be held together by duct tape and prayers, but until then, I'll keep bringing you these highlights.